Good morning. It's just sort of the end of the morning here. Welcome to Thursday Morning Thoughts. I wanted to talk today about self love and how self love can be an act of rebellion. We started this week with a post stating that self love is the greatest middle finger of all time. I totally agree with this because, especially in our capitalist patriarchal society that puts so many people down. Our capitalism is totally built on the idea that people are not good enough as they are. So, advertising, media, all of that, its job is to make us feel like we are lacking. So, when we don't feel like we are lacking and we are full of self love, it can fully be a rebellion against that system, against that idea, and it's a reinforcement of our own power. Capitalism doesn't work if we don't buy into it. So, taking self love steps in whatever form that looks like, it's a lot of unlearning, a lot of undoing things we've been told repeatedly and realizing that they've been lying to us. We are, as we are, enough and we are worthy and we deserve love from ourselves and from others. And self love can look like all kinds of things. It can be starting your day dancing because that feels good for you. It can be um, just fully expressing yourself as you are with no apology. It can look like baby steps of like maybe the morning looking in the mirror and being like, I love my nose. One little thing that you can start with and work up from there. Self love also looks like eating cake because you want it and it's a celebration and it tastes good. It can look like walking away from toxic relationships, walking away from a job that's just destroying your soul. So there's lots of different acts that we can do, different actions we can take, moments where we make decisions that we can either decide from a place of love for ourselves or from a place of lack, depending on the moment and where you were at. And I know for myself, it's been way more powerful when I've been able to come from a place of self love and self care and self compassion and really to step up for me. Because how can I expect anyone else to step up for me if I won't step up for me? And I think that's true for all of us. And I think it's also that matter as well, though, of having enough love for yourself and enough love for another to help pull them with you into that, to help them see things about themselves that they can love, to shift perspective from that lack that we are repeatedly taught and is repeatedly thrown at us into self love and worthiness that we are innately born with. We know this as children, we know this as really little kids. There's no judgment of anything, it's just joy. It's just seeking joy and seeking happiness. And somewhere along the way, we get told that we're too much, or we're too loud, or we're too whatever, or we're not enough of something. And we start to internalize that and talk to ourselves that way. So I invite you to take a look, take a moment, and kind of see it's like, whose voice is actually in my head? Like, where did it stem from? Is it from media that's been thrown at you your entire life? Because most of us these days don't know life without it. Um, is it a parent? Is it a grandparent or someone else who had a major role in bringing you up when you were very little? How do the people around you talk to others? How do they talk to themselves? Because that's the thing, too. A lot of the time, we will internalize things from our parents, not so much necessarily in how they talk to us, but how they talk to each other and how the things they say about themselves. So it's like if you had a parent who's always trying to lose weight, or a parent who's like never felt good enough, never felt like they fit in right, or they had the right level of job, or whatever, and that's what you heard them talk about all of the time, it's hard not to internalize that into our subconscious. So it's, I think, one of the like key things in really stepping into fully loving oneself is to undo a lot of this past learning and do the work to go through and figure out, is like, what is actually mine, what is the things that fit for me now in this moment that makes sense and ring true, and what is stuff that I have just carried, whether it's mine from the past that just doesn't fit anymore, or something someone else put on me or gave me that I picked up and I'm still carrying, and to piece this stuff out and let go of the things that don't help you, that don't serve you. So if there's a little voice in the back of your head that's always like, you're not good enough, this isn't right, this is wrong, this is bad, whatever, it's saying that's just sort of repeatedly beating you down. It's like, how can you remove that voice? I unfortunately don't have a simple answer for that. This is something that's a very unique internal work and personal, but I think it's worth investigating and worth taking that time to kind of look at so that you can give the middle finger to society, give the middle finger to capitalism, give the middle finger to anyone who ever said you weren't enough. Because you are. You are enough. You are worthy as you are right now. And you are worthy of your own love. Even if you feel like you're in the midst of um, fixing a whole, or like fixing things about you or whatever, like midst of change and learning and growing. We're always learning and growing. That doesn't make us unworthy now. It's like we're still worthy. We are still enough, even as we're progressively changing. We are always a work in progress. That's the reality of being human. We are works in progress, ideally, because it's like if you stop being a work in progress, then what are like then you're dead, I guess, or you're the walking dead because maybe your body isn't gone yet, but you're just stuck in this scenario. Um, and I think self love is part of that too. Is that idea? Is just like, I love myself enough to keep going. I love myself enough to keep growing and learning and acknowledging that I don't know everything. There's lots of stuff I don't know, and there's sometimes where it's like I don't actually know what I don't know, but I still love myself, and through this process, through this ongoing journey, and that's really the biggest thing, is that can you be comfortable with you and love you, all of the parts of you, things that we see as flaws or not good enough, or the things that we want to shift, can we still love those while we're in the process of shifting them? Can you be that rebel? Can you be that person that is unapologetically you, and that has this magnetism that just draws everyone else in to that energy, and want to do that work and want to spend time with you and learn and grow as a community? So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts for today. I hope you have a chance to give yourself some love, whatever that looks like. Have that piece of cake, smile at yourself in the mirror, have a bath, dance, sing, whatever makes you feel good and feel fully you.